then Lehman Brothers collapses. And the story goes, and I'm pretty sure it's true, that I think it was on a Saturday, and
not everybody here was working even during 2008 crash. I know it's the other side of the house, but you were there right before the complete shit show happened in 2008. And I saw in Wall Street Journal like almost every week as a headline, and this was the next company that was going down and restructuring. I know you weren't on that side, but can you kind of give everybody like a quick, how was that experience as the entire planet is falling apart and A&M is perfectly positioned, right time, right place in history?
Sure. So maybe I'll start answering that question by just giving you a glimpse a couple of years before that. When I was contemplating coming to A&M, I met with Brian, and I asked him at the time, it was the busiest M&A market in history at that point. It was 2006. And I said, what happens when the market stops? And he looked at me and he said, it's a good question. He said, there'll be plenty of work. We're the world's biggest restructuring firm. You may just be doing different types of deals, but the firm and the brand name will help. And I mean, it couldn't have been more spot on. So September 2008 rolls around, thankfully, and sometimes it's good to have a little bit of luck. We had already been around on the transaction side for almost 2 years. So we had a little bit of a head start. I think if we had been a year or two later, might have been a little bit more challenging. But we had the ability to have that head start, so we were making a name for ourselves. Then Lehman Brothers collapses. And the story goes, and I'm pretty sure it's true, that I think it was on a Saturday, and Brian Marsal is a Michigan alum and a big football booster and fan, and it's what he does on Saturdays. He watches Michigan football. He got a call from one of the attorneys, the lead attorneys, I forget which firm it was. It might have been K&E. And he said, no. Someone answered, I'm not taking the call, I'm watching the game. And someone said, no, I think you need to take the call. So he took the call, and that's how we got it. Now, biggest bankruptcy in history at that time. Lehman Brothers did a ton of different things. So for us, they had a private equity fund. So what happens? They have a bunch of portfolio companies and assets. They have to be managed. They have to be wound down in certain cases. They have to be sold in many cases to extract value. Well, who's better at that than us? We know what to do. So we sent, I think we had about 15 transaction professionals on the team at Lehman. The firm, it vacillated as far as number of employees, but I think at its highest, it was probably 300 people in total working on that engagement. So we had about 15 of them, specifically related to the private equity operations. And they managed the portfolio companies. They did sell-side work, quality of earnings work when it came time to divest and extract the value. So going back to what I said before, Ryan told me, you're going to just be doing different types of deals. It's exactly the same skill set. It's just applied in a different setting. And for us, it was great. It was keeping 15 people 100% busy for 2 or 3 years, while the rest of us focused on the rest of the business to continue to grow it and meet clients and work on transactions. I think one of the transactions I did at the time, if any of you are hockey fans, the Utah Hockey Club used to be the Phoenix Coyotes, and I believe in 08 or 09, they went bankrupt. And I worked on that deal where one of my clients was looking at it to buy it out of bankruptcy. So I spent a good amount of time in Phoenix, a distressed asset. I haven't touched probably a bankrupt asset for 20 years. But those are the types of things we were doing. Again, skill set, no different. It's just in a different setting with a different type of client who looks a little bit differently when it comes to the business issues, but very comfortable situation. So that's what happened.